Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Eye, getting ready to do our 5th episode of Zombicide, where I am playing Prison Outbreak and have a long distance co-host and fellow player, Dan from Australia, Dan the Man on BGG, who is helping me play a character. He's playing Belle. We're going to continue on, and first though, First, we have a correction. So let me get to that. I'll deal with the correction, and we'll move on to our regular turns. So thanks for joining me again, and let's see how this plays out. Okay, so wishful thinking here. Well, so I kind of I lost track of which figure was which last game. I corrected that, but as a result, I had Kim accidentally search the police car twice, in which she got a Wagasashi. Wakasashi is, as you know, probably know, is the matched pair to a katana. Makes up a daisho, a pair of samurai weapons. So we're going to put that back on top of the deck, and then I'm also going to move probably, I don't know. There's really not much she could have done. I guess she could. Well, she didn't have. She only has melee weapons. Well, so let's see. Let's look at the table and see how this would have ended up. Okay, here she is right here. She's the pink miniature with the hammers. See, isn't she lovely? Anyway, I could have moved her here. So as you see, there's a zombie there right now. But at the beginning of the phase, during the zombie phase, this zombie actually moved here, so she would not be attacked by the zombie, and in turn, probably it would have been able to. Will now be able to attack the zombie when she takes her turn. So I think we're just going to do that, and that'll correct things. It doesn't really change much of what was going to happen during the turn either, so that should work out fine. I'm going to go put the Wakasashi back on the top of the item deck because I think it will be critical, and I do know that in the turn for Dan, he was going to do some searching with Belle, and her getting the Wakasashi is a great thing. So I will be right back. Okay, so we still have Belle here with the first player marker. And I believe that she's going to go ahead and remain first player because Dan's got some good moves for her. And he was also very helpful in pointing out the correction I needed to make there. So what we're going to do with her first, and again, this is really going to benefit her quite a bit in a good way, obviously. And she's going to first search for an item in the room that she's in. So I'll go to the board and I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll show you what the search result ends up looking like. Now I also took the noise marker that was there on the table, but this is her right here, and she's going to search. Now we know what the search result's going to be. It's going to be that nice Wakasashi. So she's going to have to get rid of an item, so I'm going to return to her card with the Wakasashi, and we're going to work that out. So as you can see, she's loaded down with weapons, but she's going to have to get rid of something, so we're going to drop this nightstick for her. Now, in some games we play a house rule where we drop items, they stay where they are so that people can pick them up. The normal rules just say you discard the item, it's gone. So I think we're just going to play with the normal rules this time around, even though those house rules have worked out in good ways for us before. I believe this scenario is going to be fairly simple for us. The only thing we got to be careful of is running into the green objective token, which will bring on an abomination. But even then, there's not that many zombies on the board. We can stay out of the big baddie's way if he pops up and get out, especially being that we already have the purple gate open that leads to the exit. So I'm going to go back to the table and finish off Belle's moves as Dan has requested, and we're going to get that done. Okay, so we're back here with Belle. She's going to step out to this as her second action, step out here, and then for her, now remember she gets a free move action, so we're going to call that her free move action. She searched, took her free move action, she's still got 2 actions to go. For her first action, she's going to take out the zombie with the katana. Now, since she has the Wakasashi in place, that katana is actually going to do more. So, while she'll still need a 4 to hit, she's going to get 3 dice. Is it plus 3 dice? Plus 2 dice. So a total of 4 dice. That's pretty good. 4 dice to get a hit, and she needs a 4 or better. So we're going to go to the dice roller. And so if you look here, why do I say she's getting 4 dice? Well, she has a katana in one hand, and she has the match set, the wakizashi, in the other. And it says right here, if equipped, gain +2 with dice with the katana. Well, the katana has a base of 2 dice with a 4 to hit. So that's what we're doing right there, just to make sure you understand how the rules play out. Okay, so here's going to be our roll. Wow, good old Belle. She not only took out that zombie, but she took it out 2 or 3 times, just like Michonne on The Walking Dead. So she wiped that thing out. We're going to give her another experience point, and that's going to change some things, so I'll show you what that looks like as well. Okay, well, you can see that Belle has gotten up to 7 experience points. That puts our danger level, or threat level, up to 7. It also gives her an extra action. So far, she has taken a total of 2 actions, her free move action, and she now has an additional action to go. So she searched, took her free action, which is her first ability, to move, and then traded, oh no, I'm sorry, then killed the zombie, and now she's going to trade. She's going to trade the hatchet with Kim. Now that's going to give her, well, you know, the hatchet in and of itself, I don't even know if this is worth it now I'm thinking about it. She may want to continue to move for her last action, because as I look at it, while the hatchet is a dual wield weapon, it would give her 2 dice at a 3+. But the clawed hammer has 3 dice. Well, I guess that's still better. 3 dice at a 5+ or 2 dice at a 3+. I think it's easier to hit with 3s. So we're going to make that trade, as Dan has suggested, as the last part of his turn. That was his last turn order. So here's what we're going to do. We have taken that from her. She now just has the katana, the wakizashi, and the kukri. And she has given the hatchets over to Kim, who may not have dual hammers like in the picture, but pretty close to it. So that is going to be her last action, and that's where we're going to end up with her for the turn. Now we're going to move on to Shannon. So Shannon, she's kind of loaded for bear. She's got this hatchet. It needs a 3+. It only rolls 1 dice, but it does 2 points of damage. That's pretty effective. And she's got this gun blade. As a gun, it does 1 dice and needs a 4 to hit, but does 2 points of damage. And the same, but as a blade, but does 2 dice. So she can be pretty effective. We've got to get her into some fighting. I can tell you that right now. So we're going to get her moving across the table. She's done her searches, and she could find better weapons. But like I said, this scenario, we kind of got this buttoned up already, unless we do something pretty lame. But I do want to try and collect all objectives. So she's going to keep moving so we can get that done. Okay, here's Shannon. See, she's got her dual shotguns just like in the picture. So for her first action, she's going to move to here. She doesn't need to do anything there, no trades or anything like that. I think that her hatchet is good enough when compared to the kukri or the clawed hammer, because the other two only do 1 damage. She's going to then support Grindlock, who's got the worst zombies coming to him. So that's going to move her there for 2, and she's going to take a shot with her gun blade and try and pop this zombie here. Now that gun blade is only going to, for the gun portion, I believe is only 1 dice. I'm going to have to check it out, but I think it's 1 dice with a 4 to hit, so we're going to go to the dice roller and see if she hits. Okay, so here we are at the roller. She does need a 4 to hit, and she does get 1 dice. If she does manage to hit, it's going to do 2 points of damage, and we're going to kill that walker. She failed. So bam, she popped a shot off, did not make it. We're going to put a noise counter down where she is, and that's going to end her turn. Next we will go on to Watts. So our guy Watts here, he has a phenomenal melee weapon. But he does have another inventory slot, and he has a pretty lousy range weapon in the pistol. It's very basic. So I think for his first action, he's going to search as well, see if we can beef up his weapons a little bit, and we'll see where we go. So, well, as luck would have it, the item deck is right in between Watts and Joshua. So we're going to draw this first one off the deck. Plenty of ammo. Well, I guess that's not so bad. We can get that to somebody else, or he can use it. Basically, just so you know what it does. It says, as long as this card's in your inventory, you may re-roll all ranged actions once with the pistol, evil twins, or rifle. So that makes the pistol a little more effective, and that was a good search for him. So we're going to get back to the table, and he's going to move out of that room. Now he's right here, and he's going to then step out of this room. Now his pistol only has a range of 1, so it's not great. Anyway, if he does move to like here, no one's really going to be able to attack him, and then he can help back up Joshua in the police car, because it seems like I guess there's plenty of folks going over to work with Grindlock there. So that's what he's going to do. So his first action will be his last action will be to move here and get ready to start either shooting zombies that come out of the zone, or maybe even step in there and start going at it with his chainsaw. And that will end his turn. Now we're going to move on to Joshua. So Joshua, he has the shotgun, and he's also driving a police car, which is probably a better way to go for him. And I think that this turn we're just going to make a complete move. Yeah, we don't want him to get into the zone where the zombie spawn is necessarily, because they'll come out and potentially attack him, especially if he misses with the car and there's some left over. But let's see where we go from there. Now he doesn't have a lot of experience yet. He's only killed one zombie, so he's not going to be able to pop up and get an extra action. But let's go to the table and see how he does in his police car. So we're going to take a bit of a step back. Yeah, the players would have been able to coordinate this, and Watts, if there were more than one player, other than me and Dan from afar. But Watts probably wouldn't have moved into this space, because he knows that we got to get Joshua around the corner with the police car. So I think that he would have stayed there and just ended his, well, you know, there's 3 on this side, 3 on that side right now. He probably would have gone here as his action, just to start backing him up, and we need to move down the street anyway. We got 2 objectives in this building to get before we head for the door. So I'm going to end his movement there. Now, we got Joshua here. He's going. So for his first move, he is going to drive backwards through here. That means he's going to first. It says whenever an actor takes a move action, they attack whatever zombies are in their space. So I'm going to assume now. This noise marker is not actually here. I'm going to assume that guy's right there already. He's going to get hit too, the one that in the space he's leaving. So on a 4, 5, or 6, we're going to kill that zombie with the car. And we rolled a 5, so that zombie is dead. Joshua will get 1 experience point for that. He also then moved into this space. We're going to roll for that zombie. I rolled a 5 again, so he's got that zombie down. Now for his second action, he's going to back the car around this corner and hit that zombie right there. So let's go back to the dice roller. Just conveniently right in hand. 3 5s in a row. Pretty interesting. So that's 3 more experience points for him. That is not going to put him up another action. And then for his final action, after killing that zombie, he's going to keep backing the police car up to here. Yeah. So and all the zombies that spawn will have line of sight. And these guys are seeing him come screaming around backwards around the corner like a stunt driver. What a guy. Okay, so that's going to end Joshua's turn. I'm going to go adjust his character sheet with his 3 points of experience, and then we're going to take Grindlock's turn to end this round. So that leaves Joshua with 4 experience points right now. He had 1. So he's starting to get close. I mean, right now, since one of them's already popped over to the yellow threat level, we might as well get the rest of them up there as quickly as possible. It doesn't change anything. But next we're going to go to Grindlock for the final character action of the round. So Grindlock, he's not doing too bad. He's got the fire axe and a sawed-off shotgun. So you know, he's definitely a big weapon using guy. But to start with, what we're going to do, we're going to take you know, I don't want those zombies coming into my space if I can avoid it putting us... Well, we got so much melee, I don't know that it matters. I mean, Belle's there with a katana. You know, now we have Watts there with his baseball bat and his whatever else he has, his chainsaw. So I think I'm not going to have Grindlock actually attack. He's going to go into the room and pick up that objective token. If we can get him up to the next level, then he'll get an extra action as well. We might as well get him closer. So let's go to the table. Okay, so this is Grindlock right here. Basically, he's going to open this door. It's noisy when he does it with a fire axe, so bang, there's another noise marker there. And he pops that door open. Now we have to spawn zombies in this room. So I'm going to reach across and get a card for that. Now remember, we are on the... oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just curious. No? Okay, so that objective token. Anyway, this worst thing here, this one with the fatty, this really got me in a couple other playthroughs because, again, they just don't explain some of these icons well in the rules. That plus sign in the middle of the fatty's belly actually means that's not a fatty. So as Grindlock busts that door open, he gets face down with something nasty, and I'm going to show you what that is. Give me just a moment. I just got to reach again and get a miniature out. And here it comes. Yes, a big abomination. Now here's the problem with abominations. They need you got to hit them with a 3. Now this is just normal abomination, so he can be done in with ranged weapons. The problem is you have, in the rules, if you're not familiar, you have to hit him with 3 points in a single hit. So even if you have a weapon that rolls multiple dice and does 2 hits, if you rolled 3 successes, or you had one that does 1 point and you rolled 3 successes, they all bounce off him because it's got to be a single hit of 3. So we're not getting that objective token immediately, and that's going to kind of change a little bit about what Grindlock's going to do for his final turn. He was going to head in there and grab that, but now we have to do something crazy and get this abomination to to chase somebody out of the room, which he will do, and see what we can do there. I'm going to look up the car. Our best bet might be to run this thing over, if possible. I don't know if the car can kill him or not. Hey, I'm going to look it up, guys, but if any of you know whether or not, I've never had a car come up against an abomination. Seems plausible to me. I think it's just a 4, 5, or 6 roll, kills whatever you run into, if I recall. But I'm going to look it up just to be sure. And I think that's going to be our best bet. So on our next turn, I believe our players are going to scatter for the hills away from this abomination, while good old Joshua barrels the police car into the abomination. This may get one of these two ladies, either Shannon or Kim, to run after that police car and perhaps back up Joshua in trying to kill the abomination. So anyway, that didn't quite end Grindlock's turn. He still has an action. Now, I think the best thing he's going to be able to do is turn with that shotgun and clear the path by getting rid of this guy, because these 3 are going to move up into that space next turn. It's going to limit our options for movement. So he's going to go to his shotgun, and I'll pan to that and show you what that looks like. Okay, there's his shotgun. You see it does 0 to 1 range, so you can shoot 0 range, but obviously if you do that, you end up hitting your friends first. It rolls 2 dice and needs a 3+. So we're going to go to the dice roller, and we're going to take out a walker that's in his way. Okay, here we are at the dice roller. Again, I need a 3 or better, and I have 2 dice. Wow, both of them hit, so he leans over with the shotgun, and I'm going to go back to the table. Okay, kaboom! He unloads the sawed off into this space here, 1 away from him, and this zombie is killed. That's going to increase Grindlock up to a minimal 2 points of experience. But now we're going to move on to the zombie turns. That's going to end the players, or as the game refers to them as actors, turn, and we're going to move on to zombie attacks, then zombie moves, and then zombie spawns. So let's look at how that's going to go. Okay, well, due to the police car, we've cleared this side of the board. There aren't any more zombies here, so we're going to spawn something new here, but we don't have to worry about movement or attacks. Our next thing up is this lovely fellow here, who's going to move out into the street with our 3 characters, and they need to get the heck out of the way before he does something terrible and kills one of them. This is very likely he will. Okay, then we're going to move over to here. We have the fatty, by the way, the berserker fatty and the 2 berserker zombies. Remember that berserkers can only be attacked in melee combat, and ranged weapons have no effect on them. So if we're going to fight them, we're going to have to go into their space. Then next up, we have these guys that are basically, I'm just going to put them up against the fence, so you know that that's what they're doing. They're banging on the fence there, watching these zombies try and get to the players. They really want to munch some brains over there, but they can't get there. Then you got these guys here. They too are going to move up into this space. And there's no limit to the amount of zombies that can be in a given space, as frightening as that might sound. So they're going to move, they're basically staring out the fence as well and not doing much. Now we got this little guy down here. He's going to go, he can't actually see anybody effectively, so he's going to go where the most noise is, and that's right here. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff going on there. We got 3 noise markers and 3 players. So we're going to take him, and he's going to move 1 this way. Now we're done with the zombie movement. I'm going to spawn zombies at the 4 spawn points. Okay, starting at our first spawn point, we need to look at the yellow spot, remember. We pulled 3 walkers, so these 3 walkers here are going to be heading toward our players and getting in the way of our ability to get to this objective token here, that one there, because you have to go through this building and get to them, as well as the exit. So these 3 will be moving next turn, but that's going to end that spawn point right there. Now we're going to move to the next one. Okay, not so bad. Just one walker, and he's already got him on the board there, so that's going to end that one. And we're going to move on to the one that's set off by the silent alarm. Okay, well, you can start to see how this game ratchets up. So here we are in a scenario where we're going to have 3 walkers coming out right here in this spawn point, which isn't all that wonderful. And that's what we got right there. Keep in mind they're going to be backing these guys up. Things are going to start getting hairy for our guys. The tension level is rising. And that's going to end the spawn for that section right there. We got 1 more to go. As you can see here, we spawned 2 berserker walkers, and they're right there. So those berserkers are going to need melee combat to kill them. Car's good melee combat, but like I said, we're going to definitely have to have Josh go last probably, so that he can run over. We need to get everybody out of the way so that he can run over the good old abomination that's in that space. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, that is going to end our turn for this turn for episode 5. And I mean, right now it's going fine for our players. Nobody's been hurt, and nothing's happening. So I do want you to stay tuned. I'm about to do a game giveaway. I'm going to put up a separate video for that, I've decided, which I'll be probably doing early next week. So, and I'm going to be asking entry questions based on some of the other videos probably. So that'll be fun. Anyway, I'm going to give away more than 1 game too, so that will be good. It's going to be a bundle of stuff. Hope you'll like them. So that said, we're going to end right there, and I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to thank Dan for providing his turn for Belle, as well as helping me stay on the straight and narrow as far as rules and turns go. Interesting thing, starting to do these playthrough videos and review videos of rules, you can sit down by yourself and you just don't really have any problems, but when you're trying to manage all the assets of making a video of it, you seem to second guess yourself on rules or question things that you normally would just know off the top of your head. Very funny thing. Anyway, it's nice to have a wingman kind of keeping me honest. So that said, we're going to end this session, and we'll see you next time for turn 6.